Wow, have our eyebrows changed? And they keep changing, so who knows what we might be dealing with 6 months from now. Not only can our brows look more like sisters than twins, but as Johanna so beautifully put it in a recent comment, they can look like estranged sisters. But we are oh so lucky because there are some game-changing tools and products that can truly transform our brows, and we'll be focusing on those tools and products in today's video. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're returning, I'm so delighted you're back with me today. My name is Elise, and as a well over 60 makeup artist who has the same challenges you do, I love sharing on this channel the tips, techniques, and makeup products that can give us the biggest bang for our buck and help us go from good to gorgeous. Now, I first want you to know that I'm not saying that any of us need to use all of the products that I'm going to be talking about. My goal today is to share with you a menu of different product options so you can choose the products that will work the best for your specific needs. First, let's talk about two great tools. A product like this spoolie that has an angled brush on one side and a spoolie on the other side is an absolute necessity. As you saw, the spoolie looks like a mascara wand, and it does a couple of very important things. First, it enables us to brush our brow hairs up so they look their best. And second, we can run it through our brows to pick up any excess product, which helps our brows look more natural. This product happens to be an inexpensive drugstore brush and spoolie from e.l.f., which I'll link in the description box below, along with all the other tools and products that I'll be talking about today. But almost every brand carries this type of brow tool. The second tool is an eyebrow stencil, and I'm holding it up here so you can see it a lot better. This tool is especially helpful if our eyebrows have lost some of their shape or if we've acquired a lot of white and gray brow hairs, which make our brows less visible. Stencils can help us create symmetrical, balanced brows that match. They can also help us avoid shaping mistakes, show us where to stop and start our brows, and save us a boatload of time. Well, that's definitely not a bad list of pluses. But I'm not talking about just any stencil. I'm talking about this kind of stencil that fits around our head with an elastic band. If we use an old-style single stencil where we have to put the stencil up against each eye separately, we can easily end up with eyebrows that don't quite match, since it's very easy to put the stencil on the second eye at a slightly different angle. So let me show you how beautifully this type of stencil works. And by the way, these stencils come with anywhere from 12 to 40 different brow shapes, so it's very easy to find a shape that's perfect for your eyebrows. Once we have the stencil in place, we can choose the product of our choice to fill in our brows, which could be a pencil, powder, cream, or a combination of several of these products. I personally like to first take a very thin eyebrow pencil, like this micro brow pencil from the drugstore brand NYX, and very lightly draw in my eyebrow shape. I'm not going to go all the way up with this stencil because that makes my brows too full, so I'm going to go slightly inside the line of the stencil. And as you can see, I need to bring my brow slightly forward this way, and that is where the brow should actually start. Now I'm only going to do one eye because we're going to do something different on the other eye. Then I like to fill in my brows with an eyebrow powder. I love the brow powder duos from Anastasia of Beverly Hills because they come with two different shades, so you can really customize your brow color. And these duos last for a very long time. But you can certainly multitask with another makeup product like an eyeshadow and use that product to fill in your brows. I'm going to start with the lightest color and then build it up with the darker color. And I'm going to use the brush at the end of the spoolie. Now I'm taking a little bit of the darker color and I'm going toward the middle of the brow first because I have the most product on my brush. Then I'm going toward the front and toward the back. And you do want to go toward the very edge of the stencil, assuming that the stencil fits the rule of where we need to decide to end our brow. And that is putting a pencil at the edge of your nose, alongside the outer edge of your eye, and then just going straight up. And this stencil absolutely fits that rule. Now I'm just going a little bit deeper. All right, let's take the stencil off for the reveal. And one rule of thumb is you probably want to use a stencil before you do your hair, so you can see what a nice, sharp, and precise outline I got with the stencil. Now, as I mentioned earlier, to get off any excess product, it's nice to run the spoolie through your brow after applying a product, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. This takes off any excess product and it really makes the brows look more natural. Now, sometimes it can be challenging to find a brow pencil or a brow powder that really matches our brow color if we have white or gray brow hairs. Sometimes a taupe shade will work, but often we need a light or a medium gray color. But the very few gray eyebrow pencils and powders out there can often be too dark for many of us. So I also want to let you know about a product that I've recently discovered, which is specifically designed for those of us with white, silver, or gray brow hairs. It's from a company called Embrace. They have eyebrow pencils in 7 different gray shades and eyebrow powders in 4 different gray shades. If you're interested in checking out any of these products, you can use the link in my pinned comment below and the discount code word Elise when checking out to get a 5% discount. If we have some white and gray brow hairs but use a color other than gray to fill in our brows, just like I did today, the brow color often doesn't completely cover up the white and gray brow hairs because they're a very different texture. So I'm going to use a product that does cover up my white and gray brow hairs that are still visible. It's a tinted brow gel from Maybelline called their Express Brow Fast Sculpt Eyebrow Gel Mascara. And I want to show you the wand on this product because it's very unusual. On one side there are longer fingers to the brush, and on the other side they're shorter. Now what's nice is you can just take these long fingers and just very slightly touch on the white and gray brow hairs to cover them up. And that way you don't get too much dark product on your brows because this is a tinted gel. And that immediately covered up those white and gray brow hairs. Many tinted brow gels don't do a good job of covering white and gray brow hairs, but this one does. And one of my viewers, Marianne, also recommended Thrive Cosmetics Semi-Permanent Eye Gel. Now, I haven't tried that particular product yet, but she highly recommends it as well. Now, if you don't want to fill in your brows as precisely as this, or take the time to use a stencil, another great product option, which is quick and easy to use, is a tinted brow product that has built-in fibers, which add volume to our brows. 2 of the best products like this are Benefit's Gimme Brow and e.l.f.'s Wow Brow. And I have one lighter shade and a deeper shade. The e.l.f. product works very well, is far less expensive, and comes in 4 different shades. I like to use this product just by itself when I'm just running out the door to do errands or don't have the time to fill in my brows using the stencil. I'll apply e.l.f.'s Wow Brow on my other brows so you can see what it looks like when I just use this one product. I'm going to start using this lighter color. And as you can see, it's tinted. And it's adding some volume to my brows. Now it certainly doesn't fill the brows in as precisely as using a stencil, but it certainly makes a huge difference. And now I'm going to take the slightly deeper other color and fill in a little bit more. And then I'm taking my spoolie and just running it through again to get off any excess product. And it sort of brings all the color together, makes it a little bit more cohesive. I think you can see that I still have some white and gray brow hairs that are showing through, so I'm just going to touch those up with my Maybelline product. This Maybelline product is amazing. All right, how many of you have eyebrows that have a mind of their own and need taming? Well, I can picture quite a few heads nodding at this point. Sometimes our brow hairs go in different directions or grow downward, or maybe a combination of both. So that's when we need to turn to a brow product that's specifically formulated to keep our brow hairs in place. Now, usually the application of this type of product will come after we've filled in our brows, so it may be the very last thing we do to our brows. Two of the very best product taming products are Sephora's Brow Freeze Gel, which thankfully now comes in an applicator that looks like a mascara wand. And it also comes in a small round jar where you have to scoop some of the product up on a mascara wand, which also works very well. But this newer all-in-one mascara type product is far easier and quicker to use. It's a long-lasting, humidity-resistant formula that's also flexible, quick-drying, and non-sticky. And another very good similar product is Rare Beauty's Flexible Lifting Gel. And once again, it's a mascara type wand. And by the way, with most of these types of mascara wand products, especially for the brows, do check before you use it to make sure there isn't any little excess amount on the tip, which sometimes there is, because that can really add an extra large blob of product that you don't want. And you can easily wipe off that extra product along the inner part of the tube. Now, if you've used a product like the Maybelline Tinted Gel product I used earlier to cover up my white and gray brow hairs, be sure that that product has totally dried before using one of these types of products that hold the brow hair in place. Now, since I'm sure that that Maybelline product has dried on this eye, that's the eye I'm going to apply this product to. And this is my finishing step that helps my brow hairs stay in place and also look more lifted and polished. We start at the base and work in an upward motion to lift and separate the brow hairs. It can also help to gently press back on the brow hairs. That will keep them more in place as well. Going upward, and you can see how that lifts the brow hairs and makes them look even fuller. And at the middle part, you want to start going downward. And I think you can see how much fuller my brow looks after using that product. And this last product is one I usually only pull out if I'm going to a special event or I want my eyebrows to really look their best. It's the Highlighting Duo Pencil from Anastasia Beverly Hills. On one end, it has a highlighting color, and on the other end, it has a matte color, and it comes in a lighter and a darker version. I have the lighter version called Camille and Sand. It's designed to highlight and define our features and can be used in other areas of the face in addition to on our eyebrows. It's a non-waxy, creamy formula that glides across the skin for very easy blending. It can be used both above and below the brows to define the brows more precisely, and it does a great job of camouflaging stray brow hairs. So I'm going to take the matte side and I'm going to go under my brow and over it just to make the brow look a little bit more precise. So I'm going to apply it just right above the brow and right underneath the brow. Now you can use your finger to blend it, and I actually just like to use a brush just because it's a little bit more precise. And sometimes I don't bring my foundation close enough to my eyebrows, so adding this can sort of touch up that area so it looks really smooth and cohesive with the rest of the foundation. And it's great to add just a little bit more here to give some lift to the eye area. We tend to take our eyebrows for granted, but it's absolutely amazing what an impact our eyebrows have on our appearance. Our eyes are truly the windows to our soul, and our brows provide the pathways to those windows. So filling in our brows makes our eyes look more visible and beautiful. It lifts our face and makes our eyes look even bigger. And please click that like button if you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful. And if you'd like to receive my weekly newsletter or learn more about how I can help you via a personalized makeup consultation on Zoom, all you need to do is drop me a line at boomerandbeyondbeauty@gmail.com. Until we see each other again, I wish you good health and happiness, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.